Welcome to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton, aka Big E. We are pleased to be joined by two SYP creators on the show. First, SYP creator Rav. Rav, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Okay. All right. Also joining us is SYP creator Cory. Cory, how are you on this Sunday night?
Big up James Reimer.
Yeah, big up to James Reimer, who I don't think he played in the playoffs, did he? It was like Nedeljkovic.
He's going to start next year. Hot take.
Is he? Bold strategy.
Yeah.
SYP creator Scott is not here because he is selling knives to hot air balloon enthusiasts. So that's why Scott is not able to be here this evening. He's a grindaholic is what Scott is. Always on that grind. Pretty much, again, we are recording this Sunday night. Scott has a bedtime of 9 p.m., so that's why he can't do the full pod. First, we're going to be discussing the NHL as we record this. The New York Islanders, or as I like to affectionately call them, the New York Ianlanders, are up 1-0 on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the third round series, the Eastern Conference Finals, shall we say. Then on Monday, the Montreal Canadiens are playing the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas. We're going to do a quick round two recap. Rav first, biggest surprise, disappointment coming out of round two, round three?
I think it's obvious what the biggest surprise was, and it was the Avalanche getting wiped in 6.
That hurt.
Yeah, that one hurt, especially considering how the video of us just yelling and screaming and saying like, "Oh, this team's gonna." It was kind of. I was trying to be joking, but I was almost like, "This team's gonna just destroy."
We got a lot of views for that video, by the way. We got a lot of comments and a lot of views for that. So we should. I
don't know. I just thought it was just obvious. Like I thought they got. I don't know what happened the next 4 games. I mean. Like Grubauer wasn't himself in the last few games, I thought. I mean, Gerard was lost like after game 2. I don't know what happened to him. Like, there's just like so many issues. I think Taves played fine. Makar was okay. I think just the rest of the guy. I mean, Namath kind of gave up a few goals in I forgot what, I think it was game 4. He kind of caused like the first goal of the game there.
Did Nazem come back at all?
He did not. No, Kadri did not come back.
No, Kadri was set to come back for game 7, if there was one. But
and there was no game 7. Cory, your thoughts on the second round? Any surprises or disappointments from you?
I mean, the Jets were pretty piss poor.
Yeah, that was insane.
that was kind of just sad to watch.
I mean, I'd wanted the Habs to win, but I think like 99%. I shouldn't say 99%. I guess after the Leafs, but it's like most people thought it was a Jets. The way, like considering how badly they beat the Oilers, I didn't think they get swept after that.
I was pretty high on the Habs, and I was the only one out of Rav, Callum, Scott, myself. I was the only one who picked the Habs. So I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I did pick the Habs. Mark Scheifele, by the way, I thought he had a funny quote at the exit interview at the end of the season when he said like it was the Department of Player Safety who stopped me. Not Philip Deneau, like he thought it was.
Yeah, he said like it wasn't. I thought Philip Deneau was going to stop me, not the Department of Players.
That was funny, but I mean,
it was his fault.
He deserved it. It
was a absolutely stupid hit. There's nothing to it. You can't defend hits like that.
He's just playing
because it wasn't necessary. Like the game was already done.
Yeah, that was just all. Like if you saw the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, he was pissed, and I think he just let it out all on him.
So the Habs took advantage of the Jets losing their best player, I guess, and the Habs swept the Jets, and now they're playing Vegas on Monday night. Which, if the Canadians win, they will get the Campbell Bowl, which is usually given out to the top Western Conference team, like the Western Conference team that makes the finals. So that'll be pretty cool to see Montreal, if they can win, get the Campbell Bowl.
Win the West.
Yeah, to win the West.
Yeah, I guess Canada counts as like the West.
Yeah, pretty much. The farthest team east is the most Western team in this playoffs, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's weird because Tampa was in the Central, but they are very far east. Like,
Yeah, they're.
I guess they had to put most of the Metro teams in the East, which is. But I mean, whatever.
It was a weird setup, and now we have Montreal playing for the Western title, and Tampa Bay playing for the Eastern title, coming out of the Central Division. Cool shit. I guess we can do predictions for the Tampa Bay Islanders series, even though Game 1 already occurred. Rav, do you like the Lightning to go back to the Cup Finals for the second straight year?
No, I think I don't know what I recall. I don't recall what I said in the last predictions. I think I said Boston probably would win in 6, but I wanted Islanders to win in 6, and I mean Islanders won in 6. So I'm just gonna go with Islanders in 6 again. That's what I've been. I predicted Islanders 6 first series. That happened, and then I wanted it to happen another one, but I didn't think it would. But this time, I think it's gonna happen, just because I don't know. I just feel like I guess it's also like a thing where you lose to these guys last year, you want to get back at them again, and you know them well at this point. And obviously, you saw today the only goal they scored was 6-on-4 goal.
Yeah, that was the empty netter, wasn't it, near the end where the island.
It wasn't it was an empty net. It was just, they had the empty net.
They had an empty net. They had an extra attacker, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and Point just was up front. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say I think this Islanders team is improved from last year with the addition of Palmieri and Zajac.
They're even more boring.
No, come on, don't do that to them. Come on, no.
I like him.
He's not wrong, but that's just the style of play, and I don't mind it anymore. I've began to just like watching it because especially I guess more so when they're playing in New York, when they're actually at like the Nassau Coliseum, where it's like the last 5 minutes of the game where they're just shutting down for Boston. Like in Game 6, I think they're just shut. They can't even get into the zone. I think the last 3 minutes of Game 6 in the Boston series was the best defense. It was better than the one they had the same thing happen 3 games earlier. It was just insane how it looked like these guys didn't even want to attempt to win Game 6, Boston, just because it looked like they weren't even trying. But I think it's just how good New York was at trapping them in their own zone or in the middle as well.
I was going to say that you get an appreciation for the Islanders at how well they've been shutting down, closing out the games late. I almost have an appreciation for it.
You that Chelsea feel back in the day with Mourinho when they would just kind of park the bus and it's have fun. It just makes other teams look stupid.
Yeah, good luck with that.
They're good enough to score and then they just make other teams look terrible.
I even I also can't believe people said Barzal was overrated, and then I don't get where that apparently that's a thing. I just saw a bunch of hockey fans say I think the next game I saw the night I saw a bunch of hockey fans on an NHL Instagram say this guy's overrated, and that night he got a goal and assist and won the game for the Islanders. And I think it was Game 4 of last season.
He got a goal today for the Islanders against.
And he got a goal today. It was then Pulock got the game winner. But Barzal is still elite, and he has to play with Uncle Leo too. If he had Lee there, that's another thing. If you actually have Lee, who's scored 40 goals in this league, the guy is a lethal goal scorer, and he's the captain. If he's on the team, that improves Barzal. It improves his confidence more too. People say confidence was his issue early on in the playoffs this year, and then obviously I guess. I don't know, midway through the Boston series, he just kicked it up a notch. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know why people were saying Barzal was overrated. I don't know where that one came from.
I almost have to get a Barzal jersey because the dude's just so fluffy. Cory, who do you have winning this series, Tampa Bay or the Islanders?
I really like the Islanders, but I just have a feeling Tampa's just got so much. I think it's going to go to 7. Who wins that? I don't know, but I feel like it might be Tampa just might suffocate them, just have so much pressure. Even if they are good defensively, it might just end up building up too far.
I was going to say they did a really good job against the Hurricanes. They're just putting up pressure on the fucking Hurricanes for 6 games.
Yeah,
or 5 games.
Constant pressure, you're going to find a weakness and you're going to break them open eventually.
For what it's worth, I'm going to take the Islanders in 7 because because I'm rooting for the Islanders. I think
Same here, but I just think Tampa's going to win in 7.
Yeah,
the other thing too is that what's been talked about quite a bit is how Tampa Bay is 18 million over the cap. And
I don't mind that. That just finesse.
No.
They just finessed everyone.
Yeah, no, they just finessed everybody, and then it's like, well, that's not really fair. And it's just like, okay, well, life isn't fair. Okay, you just shut down you already won a game against if you're the Islanders, so you can't really complain about that too much. But good luck going against Vasilevsky for 7 games. I think the Islanders.
But I believe Varlamov is like an elite goalie, and I think that also helped with throughout the year, and obviously in the past 2 series because Sorokin played the first one, and then I think in game 1 he didn't have a good game 1, so they put Varlamov in, and he had shaky starts. I think almost every game he allowed a goal within the first 5 minutes, but after that the guy was just a brick wall. So you have to have both of those. It also helps. Because if Varlamov throws the next game, you can go to arguably another. He has better stats than him. Sorokin just has better. Yeah, Sorokin just has better stats. Yeah.
So go Islanders. I guess we're all rooting for the Islanders.
Yeah. I guess so. I'm hoping they score more because I think they'll need it. Because I don't think you can stop Kucherov and point for that long. I guess I had an issue with Beauvillier and I guess mostly Beauvillier. Just I watched him last year. He's the guy that had so many shots. I thought he could just take in the shot and score, but he would pass it off. But from what I saw today, he was shooting more, and his shot's good. Anytime he shoots, it's always a decent scoring chance. So. Just shoot more for some of these guys, honestly. I think Palmieri has 7 goals. It's in 13 games. So just shoot more and you'll score eventually, especially if you're forward like that, as skilled as he is.
That's a wise idea. If you want to score, just shoot. Just put the puck on net.
Yeah,
put pucks on net. We'll move on to the other series right now. The other conference final, I guess, if you want to call it, Montreal versus Vegas. That starts Monday night. Weird start time, 6 p.m. Pacific. They can't put it at 5 p.m. specific, so it's starting at 9. The puck drop is 9 p.m. Eastern in Montreal.
Is it Vegas time? Or Vegas time is even the same time?
I guess it's kind of in the middle, I guess, because...
I guess, because it's not a 10 o'clock one, and you could have done 8:30 Eastern.
I wouldn't have mind that. I just thought it was weird that they have to start it at 6 p.m., but it is. Whatever. I guess I'm not in charge of that. Montreal has obviously beat Corey's Leafs in 7 games. They swept the Jets in 4 games. Vegas had the nice series victory. Vegas is on a heater, literally. I don't mean to no pun intended, but Vegas is on a roll after beating the Avalanche and having a really good 7-game series against the Wild. Who do we think is going to be X factors in this series? Corey, I'll start with you. Who's going to be an X factor in this Montreal-Vegas series?
The goalies.
Yeah.
That's about it. Vegas is a better team, but whatever goalie does more, whatever Frenchie goalie does more, even though Carey Price isn't Frenchie, but
I was going to say,
here.
He's from there, or he plays there. He's been there long enough. He's almost Frenchie.
Yeah.
But,
oh, God.
Carey can steal a series. Fleury can steal a series. It's whether or not the Canadians can actually score goals, though, because they didn't really do a whole lot against the Leafs. Is more so the Leafs just being god awful.
The Leafs leafing it.
Yeah.
Leaf that. I'm not gonna lie.
Perfect. But I think it just comes down to, can the Canadians actually score enough goals to make it interesting? Because at the moment, I think it's easy nights, but it's whoever, you never know. Carey could be on his head, and then all of a sudden Nick Suzuki gets a couple goals, and it's another upset.
Now Vegas is fighting from behind again. Rav, who are you watching for in this series?
I guess I can give you one from each team.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's not the goalies. The goalies one.
Marcia Show.
No, that actually was one of them.
Yeah.
No, I guess I could. I was just the top guys for them. From what I saw, Marchessault in those 4 games they won, he was in the positions to score. He if you looked at his goals, he wasn't doing most of the playing there. He was just in the position to score, and it was either Carlson or Patches or whoever it was. like passing it to him. Having Pacioretty back also kind of does help having a lethal goal scorer like him just a little bit, you know.
Patch is back to Montreal.
Yeah, this is like now we could see whether who won the trade. The winner of the series trade officially.
Who did the Habs get for him?
Tatar, Suzuki, and somebody else. Didn't they? I'll pull it up right now.
It's a second round draft pick from 2 years ago. I forgot his name. But he's a decent prospect. I think he's playing overseas right now. I forgot his name though.
Officially, the trade was Tatar, Suzuki, and a 2019 second round pick, which I'll see if I can pull up as well. If you guys,
I think Tatar is overrated. That's one thing.
I mean, he's been scratched. He's been scratched all like since Game 5. I'm pretty sure, right? Like I think he's just been healthy scratched. This guy.
I was gonna say so. That's kind of my key to this series is the coaching, because I feel like Peter DeBoer is a better coach than Dominic Ducharme.
Yes. I don't think you need to say that one.
I don't need to say that, but like if Ducharme can somehow, like if he somehow manages to like galaxy brain his way to a series victory.
I don't know. But that's the thing. Like he galaxy brained Winnipeg that bad. Like after like sweeping McDavid, and I mean, given their defense is kind of shit, but like like the fact that he can just like sweep a team like that, just swept the best, like two best players in the world, arguably, right? Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like if he did it once, why can't he do it again? Kind of thing. Also like the Habs X factor, I think is Armia. That's my take.
That's actually not a bad pick.
Just because he plays on the penalty kill, and the guy has hands. The guy, I'm pretty sure, is a first round pick, like 2010. I can't recall, but like he's older now. Like I remember thought he'd be something like a first line, but the guy he fits really well in his role. Like right now for that team, and he's a good penalty killer for him, and he can score when needed.
The second round pick from the 2019 draft went to LA from Columbus via Vegas and Montreal, and it's Samuel Fajimo from Frölunda. That sounds right. All right,
I've got one. I think Josh Anderson could have a big say on this series.
That could be true. I mean,
he's big, fast.
He's definitely going to be. He's going to be roughing it out with the fourth liners for sure. Like that whole line of Stahl, Anderson, Perry that's going to be a good matchup for.
But Perry is so scum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like Reeves is too, so like it works out. Reeves, Perry, you have Stahl, Perry, Anderson versus Nosek, Reeves, Colasar, or Carrier, whatever the lines are. They're going to put up. I don't know.
I'm also really fascinated to see what kind of styles we get, because every game Vegas plays in is a track meet, and then Montreal just like plays at a jogging pace or like a walking pace compared to Vegas. So it'll be interesting to see if the Habs can slow down Vegas, or if Vegas is just going to be in control the entire time.
The Habs have a young team, so they can obviously keep up with them. They got some quick guys.
It's a mix in Montreal. You got to mix it with like some of the old.
No, you got like, I mean, Cole's played like not even 15, 20 games of the NHL. Then you got, Eric Stahl on the same team.
I was going to say
Perry,
and an older D-core. I don't know if Petrie is going to be playing on Monday night, but
yeah, if Petrie's going to be probably like another one where like if he's playing, I mean that makes a big difference because he can stay there for the middle six, like because most likely it's going to be Sherratt Weber on for the top guys. Then you got Petrie and Edmondson. I don't know. We'll see. It also gives I guess it might give Romanov a chance to get back in, but I don't know.
Get your boy Eric Gustafsson some more minutes.
I mean, he scored last game. The guy has proven me wrong like every time. Like, even after giving up like goals to Winnipeg because of his mistakes. Like the guy he's
bring
at the end of the day.
Jonas Gustafsson.
Jonas Gustafsson, Leafs fans, Leafs fan moment, dude.
Who's better, Jonas Gustafsson or Vesa Toskala?
Nah, Jonas is, dude. They called him the monster for a reason.
I'm gonna say Jonas because I think he also got some time on the Red Wings. So I'm gonna say
he did. Anytime. I mean, also Gustafsson did never allow.
Yeah, shout out Jonathan Bernier.
Yeah, he's actually good.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, he is good. What was I gonna say about? Yeah, Gustafsson. I'm like, I mean, at the end of the day, the guy's like, he's only in there really for the power play. I assume the guy, he only gets like 10 to 15 minutes a night, if that. Like, I think if he's good, like some nights he even got like 8 minutes. But I mean, the guy's elite offensively. So I mean, I can't get mad at him. They've won every game he's played. I can't say anything.
Predictions. Who do we have winning the series and how many games? Corey, I'll start with you. How many games is what team going to win?
Knights in 5.
Corey or Ravisher?
I'm going for the Habs. I'm going for them. I'm just going with it. Yep, dude. I'm not gonna pull a.
I literally would have liked any other Canadian team to win. Like literally any other team.
I know. Paul Bissonnette said Habs in 4. I'm not that high, but I think Habs in 6 is my stupid hot take.
Here's the thing: if the Habs are gonna win this series, the Habs need to win it in like 4, 5, or 6. Like they can't make it a 7-game series, or they won't have the energy. I think to keep up with.
Yeah, but Carey Price, man.
I will take the Habs in 6 because I want.
You guys are lunatics.
No, because here's the thing. I think Vegas will probably win the series. I just really want.
Say Vegas.
No, because I want Carey to win a Stanley. I
final.
want Price to win a cup, and I want to see how many more Canadian landmarks.
Price should go to the Canucks.
But I want to see how many more Canadian landmarks.
You think we have the money to take on his contract?
Just buy out everyone.
Yep, just buy out everyone, and then. Well, 20. I'm gonna be 70-year-old, like 70 years old. Okay, and my fucking team is gonna be paying Lou Erickson's kids. Okay, I'm not
just
doing
do a Luongo contract. It'll be awesome.
Oh fuck, DiPietro. I still also can't believe the Islanders traded away Luongo because they're like, oh, we got DiPietro. Then they sucked him to that.
Hey, that was not one of Mike Milbury's greatest moments. I'll tell you that.
He never had any good moments as a GM. Name me one good. Okay, I'm done with him. That's another podcast. That's all.
But no, so what I was saying is that I want to see how many more Canadian landmarks we can put in Montreal colors. Like I want to see BC Place in Habs colors. I want to see BC Ferries with Habs colors. CN Harbor Center. I want to see like. I'm trying to think of like any other like big Canadian landmark.
Niagara Falls and CN Tower.
Yeah, they made the Niagara Falls and CN Tower in Habs colors. I want to see like all these trains have to be in Habs colors. Like I want to see how far we can.
Why did they make the CN Tower in Canadian?
Well, so apparently what I heard is that the CN Tower is technically in one way or another run by the feds.
It's I'm pretty sure it's called the Canadian National Tower.
Well, yeah, but it's not.
But it's in Toronto.
But CN doesn't own the tower.
Arena.
Yeah.
CN doesn't own it. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that somebody federally, probably somebody in Montreal, was like, "Hey, it'd be kind of cool if we made the CN Tower light up in Habs colors." And it's like, you know what? That actually would be kind of cool because we're such a
there's multiple
thing down if it had red, blue, and white on there.
There was multiple bets lost amongst like a bunch of politicians in that area too. So I feel like that. I mean, that may have done. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know, dude. The politics over there is insane to me.
Didn't the Manitoba governor wear like a Habs jersey in the Manitoban Parliament? But it was like the reverse retro, so it was like a blue Habs jersey, and then people were complaining because it's like you're not actually wearing Habs colors. You actually have to wear a red jersey.
Wearing the full CH.
The Habs people CH. Suck.
Anyways, so that's our playoff preview for the upcoming round.
Did we go like? What was your predictions like? How well did they go for like?
I went Habs in 7 against Winnipeg. I know that.
I think I'm not gonna give myself Islanders if I don't know. I forgot if I said Islanders in 6, like for sure.
I think I said Islanders in 6. I took the Avs too.
I took Islanders in 7.
What was the other one? Tampa. I said Tampa. Yeah, I guess I went 1 for 4, which is fucking brutal. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I said Tampa in 5, but that was after a game was already played, and I had.
You want to go for the awards, or you want to talk about Power?
All right, let's. All right, I was going to talk about Owen Power because he's cool, but we're not going to talk about Owen Power. We're going to talk about NHL awards. So, more awards are going to be released this week. As this podcast is released, the King Clancy Memorial nominees will come out. Bill Masterton nominees will come out on Tuesday. Award nominees will come out all the way till next Monday. And then right now we know Calder Trophy nominees, Hart Memorial Trophy nominees, Norris nominees, Lindsay nominees, and Vezina nominees.
Those are just names.
Pretty
I don't
much.
know.
Yeah, we don't actually know any award winners yet.
I know the Vezina and I know the Hart. And is Norris the defenseman one?
Yeah. Norris is the defenseman one. Hart, McKinnon, Matthews, and McDavid. I think we all can agree that that's Connor McDavid's, and anybody who says it's not McDavid's is just lying.
A Leafs fan.
It's not Matthews.
It's
I would lean towards McKinnon more than Matthews.
Yeah, I guess, but McDavid. I mean, back-to-back Oilers. That's nuts.
And they still suck.
Yeah, and they get swept by fucking Connor and Matthew Perreault.
Matthew Perreault, nice. Vezina Trophy nominees, we have Marc-Andre Fleury, Philip Grubauer, Andrei Vasilevsky. I think
send Grubauer to the fucking moon, man. No, he's not doing it. He's not winning that.
He's not winning that.
He didn't really have to do much, did he? Like, the defense was pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I'm just giving him shit because of the last few games. But like, yeah, he that's why I won't give it to him, even though he was really good. When you have Gerard playing well and then the other two guys as well, that helps. Just them alone, and the other guys like Graves and the bottom pairing was all over the place. They had like Renouf and like Timmins and Johnson. I think he was.
Yeah, I feel like Grubauer was just good. I mean, Fleury stands on his head constantly.
My two takeaways for the Vezina is that I think Avalanche fans would tell you that Grubauer isn't a top 3 goalie in the league, and I think Marc-Andre Fleury should win this award purely because Vegas was trying to trade him at the beginning of the season, and we all were kind of like, we don't know about Fleury. He might be kind of washed.
His agent's backstabbing me, right?
Yeah, pretty much like that. And then it's just like, actually, no, Marc-Andre Fleury, like top 3 in wins this year, and has a really.
I never liked Leonard that much.
I thought he was good. I thought he was.
He's his style.
I think he's still good, but.
They did lock him up for a bit, but I don't think that's that bad. I don't blame him for game 1 either, just because he really had played in a month, and it's kind of hard to throw in. It's hard to throw in a guy into that team that quick.
He got pelted too, like that. Game, that was brutal. Game was not his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was piss poor, but like you can't just. I feel like you can't just throw this guy who hasn't played in a month onto Colorado. That was brutal too. He's been on some really good defensive teams in the past. That I guess really only Islanders and this team, to be honest. But I guess that you could say that buffs his stats. But I think he's still a good goalie. I think my thing is I want Fleury to win, but it's gonna be Vasilevsky. Is my take.
I really liked Vasi in the past, but I feel like he just hasn't really done a whole lot in the last few years. He's kind of been okay.
I mean, no, last year he was good.
He's still good, but like I don't think he's like outstanding the best.
I don't know how you can argue he isn't the best. It's hard for me.
I think he's the best goalie right now, but I definitely think that Fleury's had a better year.
I guess you can go with that, but it's hard.
I like that more than Fleury. I prefer Vasilevsky, but I think that Fleury deserves to win it this year.
My vote is Fleury. Fleury is.
That's what I'm hoping right now. Is just the voter fatigue. He doesn't win again.
Like skill wise,
he never won a Vezina, if I'm correct. I don't think he ever won.
Did he not win last year?
Fleury has.
Fleury. I was talking about Vass.
Sorry. Vass. Vass.
That's why I'm hoping.
No, Vass won 2 years ago. Did he not?
Yeah,
he won one very recently.
I think it was 2 years ago because I think Hellebuck won last year. Did he not?
That sounds right.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull that up. But yeah, I'm just hoping like the voter fatigue. Yeah, he won 2019, Vasilevsky. I just hoping the voter fatigue just like kind of pushes it towards a Fleury win, in my opinion. I just hoping that's. But then again, I don't fucking know with hockey voting, man. Like
it's a crapshoot, whichever way you put it.
Yeah, but yeah.
I was gonna move it on to Calder unless you got any final.
Hold on a minute. I have some. What do you think is the best way for awards to be given out? Like, do you think it should be player voted, fan voted, or like committee voted?
I mean, there's some. It's different for this compared to NBA, where like you have, like I think player voted awards where it's such a like I think which one is it? There's one award that's like voted by the players. I'm pretty sure isn't like
there's like a bunch. So like the Ted Lindsay is is the players, and then the actual MVP, like the Hart, is voted on by writers.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't know. I don't know for sure. That's a difficult one for this league because I feel like an NBA it should be a mix, but it isn't. But in this, it's difficult for me to talk about like NHL because there is some awards such as that one where it's voted by the players.
Ideally, I would have like a mix of players, management, and media, like all voting for these awards. Like some, you get the percentages right, and you have like a mix of it, like because then you're not like coaches aren't watching. Here's the thing: coaches aren't watching it. I mean, some coaches are, but coaches are more focused on their own teams than they are other teams, like especially this year when it's all division play and Minnesota isn't playing the Islanders. So Minnesota, like Dean Evanston can't talk about the Islanders in that sort of regard. But if you have the players.
Yeah, well, this year, yeah.
Yeah, and this year, like it's even more difficult. But if you have like players, maybe coaches or management, and then media all mixing in, and you get the percentages, I think that's a great way to decide who should win trophies. That's how I would do it.
Which are pointless anyways.
They're all pointless anyways. Like not like just because McDavid like is the MVP doesn't mean that Matthews is a shitty player or McKinnon is a shitty player. Like they're all really fucking good players. So moving on to Calder Trophy. Candidates are Kirill Kaprizov, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Jason Robertson.
That one just depends on whether you believe that Kaprizov is able.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because it's gonna be him. Like it's gonna be him. But I don't know. There's obviously like the people are like, oh, the guy's played professional hockey for fucking how long, right?
Kaprizov, you could almost argue, is the MVP of the Wild just because of how he's transformed.
It's not even close.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
He's just transformed that franchise. So. Good for him.
Matt Tumba.
It's real. I'm happy that he, like the Wild, got a player like him. They really haven't had a star like that since Marian Gaborik, in my opinion.
Oh, Parise.
Oh, Parise's fourth line, fucking 10 mil or 8 mil for the next.
Hey, he scored a playoff goal, man. He scored a playoff goal off the back of Fleury, literally off, like it deflected off the back.
More than Marner. More than Marner.
Wow.
More than Marner.
Parise better than Mitch Marner? Question mark.
Robertson, I'll give him he was the second on that team in scoring. And like if Pavelski didn't have that hot start, he would probably be the best.
Dallas is shit though. That's the problem.
Dallas is shit. Like it's like I guess they kind of wanted to do like run it back kind of thing, but it was kind of difficult with.
But I'm also not blaming Dallas because they had a lot of external factors that were. Like,
I mean, yeah, the season start really killed them, I guess, at the start, like as well, and then not having actual Tyler Seguin, good player on the team,
or Bishop,
Daddy Segs.
Yeah, Bishop also helped. I mean, I'd like to think Hudobin is a good goalie, right? But I mean, to have you would want to have Bishop over him, and he wasn't. I don't think Hudobin was really that good this season either.
James Norris Trophy, Adam Fox, Victor Hedman, Cale Makar are your nominees to win that this year. I think my vote would probably go to Fox or Makar. Yeah. I'm pretty indifferent. It shouldn't be Hedman. Like Hedman has not had.
But did he have a good year? Like
no. Hedman
if you just look at his stats, like he had 45 points. The guy is a good fucking player. I just don't think like he was as dominant as he's been in the past, in my opinion.
And analytically, he doesn't hold up compared to Fox or Makar this season.
Is that a thing?
Fox didn't know anything about him until probably a couple of weeks ago. I just knew he played for the Rangers. I didn't realize he was actually like Norris level.
The guy is like lethal.
He might not win it this year, but I could see him definitely winning a Norris in the next 3 years.
Can he defend? Because as far as I've seen, he's just quite offensive.
Yes, he can defend. He's like elite defensively too. That's why I think like
it's like Justin Hole level defensively. Okay, gotcha.
No, but he's like he's not as good as Justin Hole, Corey. Okay, I'm sorry, Leaf.
No one is as good as Justin Hole defensively.
He's like the pinnacle. He's the pinnacle of defensive defensemen. Okay, it's like you throw like fucking Ben Sherratt, like Andy Green here, and like
I think the guy
old
probably
fucking old ass dude just sit there
in the Montreal series. I think he just like got buck and threw it out of the zone. They're like, yeah, this works.
Kind of like how Marner tried to like get the puck out of the zone, but then it like went over the glass and like didn't really work so well.
Yeah, Marner's a good player.
I don't think Hedman's going to win. You're right. He definitely had. I think he's been playing with something. Obviously, I feel like that's kind of obvious. There's something wrong with him, and I want to see what it is because at the end of the season, he'll definitely say it. He's not going to say it now, especially when you're about to you have a chance to go to the finals again.
It reminds me of Erik Karlsson a few years ago. Remember when the Sharks were going on their run, but you could they weren't that good because Martin Jones was like playing above average, and then Karlsson was not 100%. Like you knew something was wrong, but somehow the Sharks got to the Western Finals. Like this team isn't that good. Why the hell are they this far?
Yeah,
and Karlsson was not healthy. Kind of the same thing with Hedman. He's not healthy, but this Tampa team is way better than San Jose teams.
I guess, with Hedman, he was, I don't know. There's an injury. Something's wrong with him because I don't think coach was even really putting him out against the top guys or anything. Like he wasn't even like, I think I was seeing things where like Cernak was playing more than Hedman was against top guys. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think Fox wins. I feel like even Hedman shouldn't have been a top 3 vote. I think it should have been McAvoy or someone else. But I don't know. That's what it is.
I hate McAvoy. He's just such a tit.
No, yeah, he
not
is.
Not even the fact he's from Boston. It's just he's just a tit. Like, he's just a terrible human.
You're not. You're not. Okay, maybe not terrible human, but I can see he's that word that you're using.
Cale, I think if I was putting money on this, I'd probably put money on Cale Makar as like an outside pick to win.
Do you think he still wins it even though he missed those games?
I think so. That's how good he is. Part of the other thing that we do, or people who vote for the awards do, is like it's a regular season award, but like we're also the playoffs do have a little bit of an impact, I think, on who wins it. But what do I
guess?
Because it kind of sways you one direction. Like it might sway you.
I wouldn't say Makar or Hedman has had much of a good playoffs to the point where like, I'm gonna go for him. So
Makar looked
I don't think
good.
that. Huh?
Makar looks good.
But I know, but
it's the last 4 games against Vegas, like not those.
But I don't believe it was enough to really sway voters, like kind of thing. I feel like it should be Adam Fox. Ian, do you know if his contract's up soon because he's getting paid?
I'll pull that up here. Give me 2 seconds.
But he's on his league. I think he's on his.
He's on a minimum. Like Fox is on.
Yeah, like he's on league min. I guess I can shout out some guys who I think will get votes, like some top 5 votes.
Tony DeAngelo.
Definitely not. Brendan Smith. Okay, no, maybe not that either. No, Jack Johnson. Just all the bottom 6 or bottom.
Do you have any real names? By the way, so Fox, he was under contract this year, and he's under contract 1 more year. So if you're the Rangers and you're smart, you want to extend Fox now, so you don't.
Yeah, you want to extend him now. You could even extend Kakko now because
has he done anything?
Kakko, he went from arguably one of the worst, I think one of the worst seasons ever, like a rookie season, but he had a really bad rookie season. But this year he just turned out to be like really good defensively. Like he's like elite defensively this year. It's weird.
Here's the thing. It's actually not a bad idea to extend him now because you could still probably get him for cheap. It's just I don't know if Taco wants to extend right now because if he bets on himself, he could probably get a bigger deal a year from now.
If you're as good as he is, I would bet on myself.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, shout out to some guys who I think is gonna win that award or gonna get some votes. Uyghur's gonna get some votes for sure. There's no way that he doesn't get. He is the most underrated defenseman, I guess you could say. Maybe I like Pelican Pulak too, but I like Uyghur. I don't know. He helped that team so much, and I feel like if him and Ekblad were gone, like both of them are gone, that team's not even making. I don't think they even win.
Uyghur is like the people's pick. I think it's like a people's pick, maybe not a voter's pick, but Uyghur is like a good selection.
The guy, like, I mean, he's not a power play guy. Obviously, he doesn't play on the power play. But he had decent offensive stats this year. I guess that's what like a lot of people look at when you're voting for the Norris.
I hate to bring up the Leafs, but like TJ Brody looked really solid at points.
I liked watching TJ Brody this year. Like that was one of the best offseason signings.
Like defensively, he actually looked good. He didn't score. I think he got like 2 goals or something.
Yeah, he hit 2 goals.
He was really. I also noticed how well he was at breaking out, like getting the play out of the defensive zone for the.
Yeah, Morgan Riley was just kind of like skated up.
Yeah,
and, like do a drop pass and then lose the puck and be out of position, whereas he actually would like make passes.
And I
believe that was a good signing.
He wouldn't force, like Brody's smart, and he wouldn't force a whole lot of stuff unless he thinks he could, like unless he thought he could really make it. But like he was smart, I thought in that regard. Brody actually wouldn't. He might get a top 5 vote, but he's probably not going to win the award.
Is that your take? You think really?
He might get a top 5 because you can have Canadian media who are.
Fuck. But at that point, I feel like Justin Hull's first 10 games was
probably Weber and fucking who else am I thinking of from
Logan Stanley.
Yeah, Logan Stanley. That's another. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. This is a professional podcast. You don't do this. You don't do this shit here.
Not on my watch.
Pellick will get one. There's no way Pellick doesn't. Both
Pellick and Pulak she gets like.
Also, I guess if you're talking about hot takes, I know Tanev had a really good defensive season. I know that team sucked balls, but defensively, if you're talking about a defenseman, the guy. I mean, I guess maybe it's also because I'm a Canucks fan. I always thought he was like elite defensively.
He's just so solid.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like he could get like if you're saying fucking Hull and Brody will get one, I think he can get one.
I was joking.
No,
because that was a thing early in the season. Leafs fans said like, oh, for Norris, and like I didn't know if it was a joke and that people were being serious about it.
Well, no, Justin Hull was like the McDavid stopper, right? Like that was
Muzzin. That
Muzzin was so good.
That 3-game series where they had 3 different goalies and only let in 1 goal.
Yeah, and then Justin Hull is the McDavid stopper. The other name I want to throw out there, and you might too, Rob, but it's Dougie Hamilton. He's a free agent this year, and he could get a fancy paycheck.
He could get a fancy. His playoffs were subpar to what I think he can do. But I mean, he's gonna get paid. He's one of the best. You could throw Chikrin in there because I know he led the. I think he still led the defense, like all defensemen. I can't fucking spit it out in goals this year. Mm-hmm. I know, and then like I don't know. You guys said Weber, Petrie. I think will get more votes than Weber.
Petrie had a good year.
You know who also is gonna get votes this year is Drew Doughty, because that's a fucking legacy award, and the Kings at least were like. Okay, not awful, but like okay.
Yeah, I mean Doughty was better than he was last season, but that's not really saying much because he wasn't good.
Yeah, but he's. By the way, have you seen Doughty's contract?
Yes. Yep. No, I know.
That also looks really cool.
What's worse, that I know Carlson. I was about to say what's worse, that or Carlson.
We have a mailbag question on bad contracts, so I'll ask that.
The other go for Selke.
I was gonna do the Ted
discussion.
Lindsay. I want to do the Ted
Okay.
Lindsay quickly because that's the only other nominee that I know, like award with nominees. Crosby, Matthews, and McDavid for the Ted Lindsay. So instead of McKinnon, it's Crosby.
So
Which
this
I
is
mean, granted, the Penguins had a weird good regular season. Like they weren't an elite team, but they somehow finished first in that Eastern Division.
Is the Ted Lindsay, is that the defensive one?
No,
that's
that's
Selke. We can talk about that after for real
that's
quick
the
as well.
player MVP. So that's essentially the players voting on who they think the MVP of the league is, which it should be a McDavid award, but maybe they'll Galaxy.
I've watched some videos of like all the guys, or not like a lot of good like players in the league talk about like who do they think is the best player, and like most 90% of people said McDavid, but like not even 90%. I'd say like most of them said McDavid, but then there was like a lot of guys who said Crosby. And so that's why I always think like
Crosby's still unreal.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like he didn't get
the
like
different
McDavid
style
points, Matthews points this year, Matthews goals, or like he didn't have like what they had this season. But I still think Crosby will at least be top two in voting. But I think McDavid wins.
Probably. We'll go through these next two awards quickly. Frank J. Selke Trophy. Your candidates are Barkov, Patrice Bergeron, and Mark Stone. Apparently, I guess that's a legacy pick for Bergeron because I think Barkov. Apparently, Barkov was not good analytically down the stretch. Mark Stone's a winger, so he's not going to get the award. So you're gonna.
I think Mark Stone will get the award. I think
he's so good.
Mark Stone, in my opinion, this season was the best defensive forward. That's just me. I feel like he deserves it more than the other two. I don't know. Well, you said Barkov, I guess, was analytically bad.
He fell off a little bit down the stretch, but I mean, he had a really good season. Like,
yeah, I mean, he plays. Yeah, I think he had a good season. I guess I still think Stone will win that award. I've seen that guy. That guy does stuff that like I don't even think Bergeron does at some points. Like defensively, like I think he's gonna win that award.
I'll say Bergeron wins. Corey, do you have a pick? Selke, Barkov, Bergeron, Stone. You got Stone winning, I guess.
I like Stone, but right. I mean, yeah, he's not.
I'll throw like votes.
We'll go Bergeron.
Vote. Some guys are gonna get votes. Would be Nichushkin,
Niels Hoglander,
Ilya Mikheyev.
The guy Ilya Mikheyev's good. I don't know if I get votes. Leafs fan might give him votes.
That's a genuine answer.
Really?
It's not even.
Again, speaking of McDavid stopper, didn't
Mikheyev might win?
Actually,
yes, he did.
Did Mikheyev outskate McDavid for one loose puck, and then people are like, Mikheyev, fastest skater in the NHL, hot take, and it's just like,
send him to the All-Star game, man. He's so good.
Hey, if Zemgus Girgensons went to the All-Star game, he can too. I'll throw some guys out there. Denault's gonna get some votes. Eriksson Ek will get some votes.
Yep.
I think Kakko will get a vote or two. Like he went from such a bust to like this guy is actually like a really good defensive forward, and I like with his skill, he's gonna be good offensively. He had a good second half of the season where like I like considering the way they were playing, like he had a really good second half. I know. I don't think
Luke Glendening will get one vote like he did last year.
He's so good at faceoffs, right?
Yeah. He got the same amount of votes as Leon Draisaitl did for the Selke last year.
Last guy, because I know I've seen him like analytically past like 3 years. He'll never win because he's a bottom six guy, but Zach Aston Reese.
I think he's an RFA this year. I would be happy. I was doing the Cap Friendly Seattle draft thing. And Aston Reese came up, and I was like, I would take him. He seems like a really quality player.
Like
how did they get up to second pick? By the way, that's bullshit. This thing's great.
What was I gonna say? Seattle. Do you think Seattle becomes like the Islanders of the West, where they just got like all these analytical like geniuses on their team to find out who's the best?
They're gonna be the Carolina of the West because of the fact because they have Ron Francis running the team. So they're gonna be Carolina of the West.
Is Luke Henman gonna get any time on the team?
I can't see him getting. He'll get time, or he'll get time with the AHL team in Palm Springs.
Because I don't think even the guy Vegas signed first ever played for them like in a regular season game.
No, I don't think.
I forgot his name.
Reed Duke.
Reed Duke. That's who it was. Yep. Yeah, Stone.
Do you want to do Jack Adams for best coach or Lady Bing for memorial trophy?
Is that like most like gentlemanly
sportsman like?
I mean, it's Slavin, Spurgeon, Matthews. I guess Slavin. I don't know who's most gentlemanly. I think Spurgeon. I think Spurgeon's a good captain. By the way, like I guess he gets. I assume he gets a lot of shit because I guess Jared Spurgeon isn't what you think of a captain if you just looked at like that team. But I
am obligated to remind everyone who listens or watches this podcast that Jared Spurgeon is a former Spokane Chief who won the 2008 Memorial Cup with the Spokane Chiefs. So
he's a good defender. He's a good player.
Good defender.
Also is though.
We'll do Jack Adams. We'll do it. This is the last award for coaches. Rod Brendamore, Dean Evison, Joel Quenneville. Brendamore with the Hurricanes, Evison with the Wild, Quenneville with the Panthers. I'm going to go with Rod Brendamore as coach of the year, but
I've always liked Brendamore as a coach. I know he got shit for like when he first got to the team. I mean, he's just been with Carolina so long. He knows how it is in Carolina. And it's worked this year. Like the only reason that you really lost that series, I mean, it's because it's Tampa Bay and like it's like what Dougie said. They were 18 over the cap. They were 18 over the cap. Like what? I'm sorry. Like I'm fine with it because like that's how you finesse the system. I'm not can't be mad at it. There's no rule breaking, but I mean, you can't really blame yourself for that. And I mean, Vasilevsky's kind of good too.
Cory, Rod Brendamore, Dean Evison, Joel Quenneville. Do you have a candidate for coach of the year?
Nope.
Fair enough. Sheldon Keefe actually should get some votes. Like he should get some votes for.
Oh, he should for being first in the division. I feel like you'll get something.
I actually like Keefe as a coach. Like I actually think he's a good coach, but. Just saying. Do you want to talk about Euros or do you want to go to the mailbag section of the pod? Euros. All right. First, we should mention Christian Eriksen doing okay. He is better. That was a really scary moment watching that as that happened. Really.
Yeah, the camera work just.
That was fucked. I don't even get me started on that shit.
They should have just like. When you see the guy getting CPR and they're pulling defibs, maybe turn the camera off. Like,
yeah, just go to the studio. Like, it didn't really help that the commentators didn't say anything or like. It's insane how. Like,
as a commentator,
I was gonna say, there's not a lot you can say right now.
I know, but like, I feel like I've seen like commentators say like,
he was dead. Like, he was dead until they.
I mean, they said he was. I saw a thing where like they said he was out and like. Yeah. They the reason he got back was like the CPR and all that, like the work from the teammates and the medical staff.
COVID related?
Oh, don't do this. This is not a conspiracy podcast. This is not a conspiracy podcast.
Denmark did lose that game. Not that
they did. They should.
That was played, Finland's first
they
goal.
They should not have kept playing that game. They should have.
Yeah,
played
that was
the next day or the day after.
It was amongst the players. They had a decision, and they said it was fine to play that day.
But
that was Finland's. Yeah, but
they should have dominated that.
On a, I guess on a sad note, it happened, but like that was Finland's first goal in like major competition. I'm pretty sure ever. So I mean, shout out to them. They won the game and they beat.
The big thing there is that it wasn't Timo Pukki who scored as well. So
yeah, that's the only guy I know on Finland. I literally only know.
I was looking at the lineup. I'm like, I know the goalie and the striker.
Okay, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. But,
yeah. Also, and that's in Group B.
Goalie, I know the goalie.
I was gonna say that's a Group B action. Finland, Denmark. Also in Group B, Belgium defeated Russia 3-0 in St. Petersburg. I don't know if you guys saw, but Khabib was in St. Petersburg apparently as a commentator for a Russian TV network, and he was covering the game. And he had an Instagram post like, who do you think is winning it all? My guess is England or Belgium. And it's just like, you know what? At least he's trying. He's doing something different. Good for him.
England won today. Raheem Sterling scored the goal.
Ooh, yeah. Good for them.
Who were they playing today?
Croatia.
Croatia, yes.
I just saw, what's his name, Cory? The young guy, the really young guy played today.
For who?
What's his, England. What's his name?
Foden.
No, they don't play him for some reason. I don't
Oh,
get how you don't
Bellingham?
play. I don't get how you don't play someone as good as him on the team. But I don't know.
Rashford.
No. Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham. Yeah, he kind of ripped it. He kind of ripped it apart in Germany this year.
Like he's the
he
youngest
deserves
person
a chance.
to ever.
He was off the bench. Like they had Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice in midfield. So you're pretty sturdy there. I mean,
Yeah.
Hendo on the bench. Like
I just wanted to make a thing of it just because
they
it
can
was
play
the youngest.
anyone there. All of them are good. I definitely think if Henderson's not playing, Calvin Phillips is the guy. You need to play Phillips. Because Declan Rice is pretty one-dimensional. He wins the ball and can kind of dribble, but Phillips knows what he's doing.
I'm going to be watching England versus Scotland because I'm rooting for my ancestral home, Scotland, to win the Euros.
You're going to be bitterly disappointed.
I'm not watching much of this anyway. Yeah, they do. No, they obviously do. Like I'm not saying that Scotland is anything, fancy or important. Two other things I just want to bring up. This is just for my own personal interest. Wales played Switzerland in Baku on Saturday. How many people were at that game in Baku?
17?
Less.
Oh, really? Was it not a big...
8,782 people watched Wales play Switzerland at the Olympic Stadium in Baku. I think
why was it in Baku anyways?
Because there's oil money there to use.
Yeah, but it seems like every other team's like playing like a home game, like in Russia or England played in London. Like, why'd they play in Baku? Why didn't they just play in Cardiff or in Basel?
Here's the thing. I'm just saying. So this is Group A, right? This is, I guess, not the top group, but like it's Italy, Wales, Switzerland, and Turkey. And every game in this group is either taking place in Olympic Stadium in Baku or Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Those are the only two places where games are being held. So Italy gets all home games, and no other team in the group gets an actual home match, which is really cool. And then pretty much. And then the other thing I want to mention is shout out North Macedonia, who are going to get their ass kicked by the Netherlands and already lost 3-1 to Austria.
They're going to get kicked by Ukraine. Like Ukraine looked good today.
Yeah. So
not great, but they had firepower. I'll say.
The stadium in Baku fits 68,700 people.
And here's the thing.
The Europa League final there 2 years ago, Chelsea Arsenal.
Yeah, it was in Baku, and then there's also an F1 race that was just held there recently. And I get that there's COVID restrictions and all this, and you can't have full capacity. But I mean, less than 10,000 people for an international soccer match does
Corey,
seem overwhelming.
The 2016 group stage Europa League match against Arsenal played whatever the team is in Baku, that had 63,000 people, and then 2019 the final had 51,000. So it didn't even fill it up.
Predictions: who do we have winning the Euro this year?
France, probably. They're so good.
Yeah, that was my pick from the start.
But they have a very dangerous group. Like, they could get hung up in that group. You never know.
Yeah.
Lukaku's a goal-scoring machine right now as well. So, and De Bruyne's back. So
that looks like a really fun group if you're hungry. Having to deal with Portugal, France, and Germany. That looks like a lot of fun. My prediction, I'm going to go with, as a joke pick, I'll say Scotland, but as a real pick, I'll say Italy. I'll go with Italy.
Oh, they're so boring.
They're
like Islanders, but bad.
Did anybody? I made a joke the other day about, because the Turkish goalie, I think on the third goal, just threw the ball directly to the Italian player, and I said, like, I didn't realize Tristan Jarry transferred to the Turkish national team, and I thought that was pretty funny because Turkey is not good, and also Tristan Jarry turned out to be not good when the Penguins needed him. So I'm going to pick Italy. Rav, did you make a pick of who you think is going to win the Euros this year?
Just France. I with everything Cory said, I just feel like they're much better at every position than every other team.
But they have Giroud.
Yeah. Yep. Wait, do they not have Giroud this year?
He does score so many goals for them, though.
Yeah, that's why I feel like.
I'm just checking here. Italy won Eurovision this year, so that is also helping my pick. I'm going to say that.
I know apparently there's some like beef between Mbappe and Giroud right now or something like that, but I don't know. I still feel like they'll win.
I'm kind of not liking Mbappe at the moment. He seems like a bit of a tit.
The stardom's getting to him.
Yeah, he's kind of just turning into Neymar. It's just like, seems like he's better than everyone. And it's like, yeah, you're good, but relax. Like,
also really cool that Olympic Stadium in Baku gets a quarterfinal match, which is really awesome. I want to go see.
Who's traveling to Baku to go watch that for real?
Y'all want to go to Azerbaijan? Like it can't be too much, right? Like realistically, it can't be too much to fly there.
I'm going to search that up right now.
Yeah, flights to Baku.
Is Turkey in that group?
Yes, Turkey's in that group. So that's, I guess, who like the closest.
That's dangerous. Oh wait.
Why
is it Turkey waits them, or is it? Oh no, sorry, it's Armenia. Never mind. Sorry, never mind.
Does Turkey have some political issues or something?
I thought it was, but no, it wasn't. It was Armenia. I was thinking of like someone in the Arsenal Chelsea game who couldn't go to Baku, but it's Mkhitaryan because of Armenia and Azerbaijan.
$1,400.
Round trip?
Gosh, damn. Wait, one sec.
Oh, I thought that was round trip. Because, I mean, I'm totally down to do an SYP takeover to Baku.
I don't know if I want to go there. Dude, that's not the budget.
Yeah, Baku is apparently like Oakland in terms of, like, low to the ocean. Like, in terms of, like, elevation.
They're talking about, like, culture. Like, wow. Like,
I can't speak on culture, but in terms of, like, elevation... like they're actually like at sea level.
Like minus 28 meters.
Yeah, below sea level.
Yeah, it's like 2K round trip. You need a negative COVID test within 48 hours of the flight arriving.
Oh, I can do that, no problem. Cory, maybe
I can
not
afford
so.
that.
Big test you can pass, bud.
Do you want to do the mailbag section of this podcast?
Sure, let's do that.
We actually got a lot of the mailbag questions here. We'll start with we'll start with Jevin Lefebvre from Left Side Heavy Pod. He was on the Game 5 last Great Stanley Cup Finals episode we did. He says Crosby and Ovi or Gretzky and Lemieux. Who would you rather have?
Gretzky and Lemieux.
Gretzky Lemieux. That's my pick.
Yeah.
The other question he has, worst contract. Skinner 8x9 or Bobrovsky 7x10.
Skinner.
I don't think I feel like
Bobrovsky can still play hockey. Skinner, no.
I'll give Skinner the fact like Ralph Kruger is really bad at coaching, and like having him as the coach and putting him on the fourth line would obviously not help anything. Like, I don't know what they were thinking about putting him on the fourth line.
That's like putting Laine on the third or fourth.
That's what, like, see, that's the fucking thing that they were doing. Yeah, with Laine. Like, you can't just put a guy who's primarily offensive and then just put him on the fourth line and go, oh, you're going to become a fucking Selke candidate. Like, it's not going to happen with guys like that who are primarily goal scorers.
Well, I remember that
literally never defended in his life.
Well, I remember that was the problem that was the problem with putting Nick Robertson on the Leafs, like at point where it's like, okay, well, he could play fourth line minutes, but then like, why would you put him on the fourth line? Like, that doesn't help improve him.
He played. Did he not play a game or two on the second line?
Yeah, he was getting ice time with Tavares last year in the bubble.
Yeah, the bubble. They brought him in for a spark.
And that didn't go far. The other, we have a few more questions. From Hayden Barton. How pumped is Ian after Bryce Hall got destroyed last night? I did not watch any of the TikTok YouTuber fights. I have no interest in the fights. So Bryce Hall who was Bryce Hall fighting?
He was fighting Ace Family, Austin McBroom, I think.
And I'm sure
it's Ace Family.
So I'm gonna say I think that
YouTuber with 19 million subscribers.
Yeah, I'm sure that guy's a dick too. Like I'm sure
he's a dick. I hated both of them.
Yeah, so I rooting against Bryce Hall means I got to root for this.
That's why
Austin McBroom, who sounds like he should have like a Disney Channel TV show.
He has like a family channel, and like he allegedly just cheats on his wife.
Yeah, that sounds great. So gotta love supporting YouTubers and TikTokers.
Yeah, I guess.
Did any of you guys were you guys watching the UFC fights?
I watched both. Like right after I just watched. Well, after like one of the last fights, they rigged a fight. To like, I don't know why they would rig a fight. It just kind of like ruins the sport kind of thing. But like they rigged the fight. I'm just like, I'm not watching this. I never end up watching the Bryce Hall fight. But then I just went and watched UFC. I don't know why people thought Vettori was gonna win. Like I don't know. I don't like. He didn't really seem like he like made any improvements. Did you see it?
I did not see those fights, but I'm also well, part of the reason why Adesanya lost his last fight because Jan had the size advantage over Adesanya.
I mean, he went up a weight class, so I don't really even like.
Wait, Adesanya lost? I thought he won.
No, he won last night, but we're talking about his last fight when he fought Jan Blachowicz when like he went.
Yeah, he went.
Stylebender went up a weight class, and he went up a weight class, and then he lost, and he went back down to his original weight class, and he won.
Which he dominates that. Like he dominates at that weight class. I think he has 3 or 4 successful title defenses now. Like,
yeah.
Did he lose on decision?
He did lose. He did lose on decision, but it was a split decision. I'm pretty sure, or unanimous. Like, Jan won 3 rounds, and I think Stylebender won 2 rounds. Like in his last fight, and then last night, I think it was unanimous, wasn't it?
I think. In my opinion, Vettori won I don't remember the scores the judges gave, but I think Vettori won the first round, but only because he got like a few takedowns. But then after that, it was really, I mean, after like with 2 minutes left in the first round, you could just tell like Adesanya had it. Like there was nothing he could do, and he's just a troll. Nate,
did Conor fight?
No, Conor's
fighting next month.
He's fighting July 10th against Dustin Poirier, full crowd in Las Vegas.
Round 3 for them.
I'm taking Poirier to win that fight.
Yeah, I'm taking Poirier too.
Done.
I think
Conor's done.
Yeah, I feel like this may be it for him, kind of thing.
If he can't win this fight against
that's
Poirier,
3 in a row.
Is
that 3 in a row?
I think that's 3 in a row. Yeah.
Because what was it? It was
he beat Cowboy, and then
he beat Cowboy, and then after the
he
lose. I don't recall. Let me pull that up, dude. How do I not remember this? Because obviously originally it was Diaz, and then he took.
But I'm also I'm gonna say Cowboy also, like, speaking of guys who are done, like Cowboy shouldn't have fought his last 2 or 3 fights, it seemed like, with him.
Oh yeah, he should have won like his last 10 fights, dude. That guy.
He had a big run in like 2019, and then just downhill since then.
He's lost 2 of his last 3. If you lose 2 in a row, maybe you'll get more. He'll do just because it's Conor. I think he'll get. Maybe he can like pull the thing where it's like, oh, it's just the one guy, and then. Like I've only lost to this guy. If he wins another fight, then he'll keep going. I think
the other thing is that I think you have like another McGregor Diaz like fight in that, like in the cards for that too.
Speaking of like Diaz Edwards then win fight of the night.
That was a really good fight. I saw that
was a good fight because I was watching like first 4 rounds. I think everyone knew like it was probably going to be Edwards, but then with 1 minute left in the 5th round, like Edwards gets rocked, and then. Obviously, it's Diaz, and the guy's trolling him. Like, the guy gets rocked, and he goes out for, like, a fist, like, a glove tap. Like, the guy's, like, his head's, like, waving and around. It's like, he doesn't go for the KO or anything just because it's fucking Nate. But, I don't know, he's a legend. He's sick. He's go.
Really, that was a really good fight. I'm just going to move on because we got more questions. From Tanner, can the Phoenix Suns be doused, or are they just too hot? I think as we're recording this, the Suns are playing the Nuggets.
They have swept the Nuggets.
They have swept the Nuggets. Okay.
Chris Paul is too fucking good.
revenge season for Chris Paul?
It's always been revenge season for Chris Paul. Every season is a revenge season for him. He just gets injured, which kind of sucks.
I'm still rooting for the Jazz because of my boy Donovan Mitchell. I'm still rooting for him.
You see the Suns in 4 guy?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, the Barstool Big Cats, like Chris Paul is playing like he personally knows the Suns in 4 guy.
No, but
Or there's a guy in the stands who like beat the shit out of 2 Denver fans, and just like instead of after they beat the shit out of them, he just said Suns in 4, baby. He just kept saying.
And then, well, the other thing is that some people were saying that like because the guy who got the shit kicked out of him was like wearing a Jamal Murray jersey.
Yeah, I mean it was also his fault that whole fight started.
No, but what I was gonna say is that some people were joking like, man, Jamal Murray's really gone downhill since that injury, like getting beat up in the crowd. Like you hate to see that, like terrible ending. And it's just like, yeah, that's actually pretty
Jokic also got a flagrant 2 and got removed from the game, and it was a really weak call in my opinion, but I again, no team has ever come back from 3-0. I didn't think this one was the case. Maybe Jamal, just because they came back twice from 3-1 last year, there was a chance, but without Jamal, there's no chance. And I think I was watching halfway through the game when I stopped and it came back. MPJ was shooting 1 for 7. He needs to be better than that for them to win. So
I'm gonna say Tanner. I'm picking Utah to win in the next round. If they get to the next round, if they beat the Clippers, I'm rooting for Utah. Phoenix is probably the best team in the West right now. Yeah. They're the hottest team for sure. Like not just because they're in Phoenix, but like.
My hot take is Clippers will win that series, but I don't know. I don't know just because I don't know about Paul George. Like he's the real X factor.
I can't trust the Clippers. That's why I'm going with it.
I can trust Kawhi. I will always trust Kawhi. Sure. I hate that he left, but like PG, like 2 years ago today we won the chip. He left for Paul George. He could have had Lowry, Siakam. I'm done. I was thinking in my head like 2 years ago, Toronto they didn't riot, but they just like went ham in the city because they won. And like 10 years ago today, it was the last Stanley Cup final game played by the Canucks where there wasn't a riot.
Wow.
So it worked. Good day today, the 13th.
Tanner also asked Stanley Cup final prediction series score. I'll go quickly here. I'm going to say the Islanders beat the Habs in 6 games.
In the finals?
In the finals. I'm going to root for the Islanders Habs upset. I'll take the Islanders over the Habs.
I mean, because I went Habs and Islanders.
Knights beat the Islanders in 6.
Dude, I don't want to see Vegas hold the cup. I'm sorry. I can't see that. If they win within 3 years of their existence after your stupid teams waited longer than my team, Cory. So imagine all Canadian team fans like waiting this long, and you get fucking Vegas.
Well,
we just need the most casual fan base.
We need the Leafs to just not exist for a little bit, and then come back in with an expansion draft. And
do you think the Leafs should like move to
and then
Northwest territories? Like they should play in all 3 big
spot and then jump to 2 randomly. It'll be great.
I think.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead. Who's your final?
I think the hot take is you move the Leafs to the Northwest, or you just move them to the territories for the next like 3 years. You move like they just play alternating games in Iqaluit and on the ponds there, and then you've put and then one in Yellowknife, and then you have another one.
No, Fort Mac. You probably put the team in Fort Mac, and that's where they're centrally located.
Oh God.
Boy.
Do you have Manitoba. Did you have a finals pick, Rob? Did you say who?
I also just kind of like rang in my head that I did pick Islanders and Habs, and that's just insane in my brain that is a possibility. I'll since I picked them, I kind of have to go with one of them. So I will go. Like realistically, I think the Knights or the Lightning will win in a realistic normal world, but it isn't because the Leafs lost like every year. But I think we're gonna go with Habs in 6.
Tanner finally asked, "Is a hot dog a sandwich?" It is not. We've had this conversation here before. It's not.
It's a pork missile.
Yup. There we go. That's the name. We always find it. The Pork Missile Podcast. There it is. Like it's just so easy. Once it comes up, you just know what to name it.
Once I once I move to Texas like Rogan, and then I'm just gonna start doing like the meat missile podcast where I just go around and I just go and review different meats in the state. It's like, hey, we're in El Paso, Texas here at Teddy's Bar and Grill, and we're
at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna have the hot dog in the 7-Eleven and in El Paso. Finally, last question from Blake. I know playoffs haven't ended, but what teams are you excited to make moves in the offseason? I'm assuming he's referring to the NHL here. I'm gonna say the Kraken because I like the Kraken.
Yeah, I think obviously you want to.
Well, it's gonna be interesting just forming a full new team, like of course.
Yeah. But in terms of an actual team making moves, I'll say the Columbus Blue Jackets actually are like kind of
need to.
Yes, they're a really
you really gotta move Jones like
now.
Like it's really like this offseason is like you gotta move him because there's no point of having him. I feel like if he's movable, I don't think Werenski wants to stay.
No, if you move Jones, you're moving Werenski, and you're probably moving one of your you're moving one of your goalies too.
Yeah, I think that's obvious. I know. No, they don't.
You're moving them.
They don't suck.
That's the thing is that even if they're not that good, you still got to move them.
Speaking of moves, I think Edmonton can pick one of those guys up,
Ooh,
Elvis, or because you got to buy out Mikko. I'm sorry, and then you also I don't know.
They need a fucking defenseman.
They need a Duncan. But no, here's the thing. I've always said they need like a Duncan Keith, not Duncan Keith stay at home type D-man. Not everybody who can like jump up on the play and like carry the puck out of the zone.
I don't mind.
They're too offensive. They rely so heavily on McDavid and Draisaitl. Like they just need
a TJ Brody
security.
Type. I was gonna say a TJ Brody type makes a lot of sense for the Oilers.
The Leafs. This is the first year that they actually like were okay defensively.
Yeah,
and then the
and it looks like they're gonna
the forwards misfired. It was like the McDavid and Draisaitl are pulling that team out of the mud. They let in so many fucking goals. Like McDavid will get like 6 points and they'll still lose.
The Leafs look like they're gonna bring back most likely the same defensive core.
I think the Leafs for the most part are gonna stay the same. They're gonna lose some of the
Are you sure?
Goalies.
The goalie thing is going to
be... So do you run it back with Campbell as a starter next year?
Because Campbell,
Freddie's not coming back.
Freddie's going to want... Yeah,
if you go with Campbell, I think you need a good backup there. And
because I don't think...
is not it.
I mean, he wasn't bad this season. I know, you got to throw Riddick in the mud. I'm sorry.
Big Dick Riddick is so bad.
Yeah, I've ever since he threw the stick up on Draisaitl after he said that was the peak of his career, and everything's just been downhill since. You can't use Veini Vavalainen or Ian Scott or Joseph Woll.
None of those guys yet are anywhere.
I think like teams like that like are built up so high and then underperform. They're the teams you have to watch in the offseason because you don't know what they're going to do. Like, do they try and strengthen or do they just run it back the same team? Hope they don't suck again.
Well, Tampa's going to lose some guys soon. I also think Carolina's going to lose. They could lose Dougie. They're going to lose probably one of the D guys in the suspension.
I just wanted to say free agent goalies this year include Tuukka Rask, apparently, Pekka Rinne.
I don't think Tuukka's leaving.
Devin Dubnyk
wants Boston.
Rinne's overrated. Dubnyk sucks.
He's old.
Antti Raanta, James Reimer, Philip Grubauer, Peter Mrazek, Jonathan Bernier, Carter Hutton, David.
I would
I feel like Grubauer would be a good pickup, but you'd have to overpay, which kind of defeats the point.
Because of his season. I would say if you don't want to overpay, you go for Antti Raanta because the guy is a good goalie. He just had an offseason. He battled injuries because I think they have to play like he wasn't even playing. It was like Kemper, which was also battling injuries, and that was fucking Ivan Prosvetov, who's like 22. I don't know anything about him. So if you can get someone, if he plays to form and you get him for like, you can get this guy, I think, for $3-4 million, like for a year or two, because of the season he had. Like, I feel like that's good for Leafs or even Edmonton.
Linus Ullmark, Yaroslav Halak, UC Saros.
Is Ullmark a UFA?
Saros is decent.
Stars is good.
Allmark's a UFA.
That's a good one too, because like this year with Buffalo, when he played like with that team, like he was good.
Curtis McElhaney back to Toronto.
He's old, is he not?
Yeah, he's like
he's on the
38.
he's trying to win his back-to-back. He's trying to go back-to-back this year.
Do you have any other teams that you're really interested in?
Canucks, I want to see what they're going to do this year. Like back to the normal question.
Yeah.
I went back to the original question, which was like what teams want to see in the offseason. I think Vancouver, because I don't know how you sign Pettersson and Hughes with the cap situation. I don't know how you make improvements to the team.
Oh, you get rid of Pearson. That's one.
You can't get no.
Then you
how do you get? That makes no. That you give VC 6x6. You give Stutter is foundational piece according to Benning, so you give him 5x5. And then I think what else? I'm done.
I would probably sign Zach McEwen.
Oh, but then if you give Quinn Hughes, you give him a long-term deal, but then you give Quinn Hughes and Pettersson like a bridge deal just because you don't know.
Seriously, I would really like to see how Buffalo pull themselves out of the fucking mud right now.
I'm gonna say if what I would do if I was Buffalo, I would just be the landfill for shitty contracts. I would take in everybody's shitty contract right now and get draft picks for taking those shitty contracts, and that's how you rebuild the Sabres. Like you trade Eichel this offseason because that's not going to work anymore. You can't deal with that situation. That situation.
Eichel for Carlson, Vlasic. Who else? Kane's not too bad. I don't know about
Logan Couture. No, but I'm just.
What you think you could do Carlson Vlasic for like Reinhardt and like 3 for you just dump everybody good, like you could just dump Reinhardt too.
Yeah, you basically just dump your good guys. You take shitty contracts.
You dump Kyle Okposo because he's too good for the team.
Dahlin's gonna be like that Will Smith meme, like in that open room.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's gonna be Dahlin. But then when Dahlin gets traded, then it's gonna be Dylan Cousins.
He's gonna get traded too. Well, how long do you think before the Dahlin trade rumors come about? Like, what's that comes about
next year? Next year.
That's not a dumpster fire at that point. That's a forest fire.
Cousins, man.
I don't. For what it's worth, I still have stock in Casey.
One last thing. You have stock in Casey Middlestat still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. There's the hot take. I think. Oh, I'm not gonna make fun of him anymore. I think I just hate him because of what he did to Canada in the World Juniors, and then after, like, I was expecting this guy to be so good, and then he's just a second line.
Yeah. No, that really sucks in juniors when your team gets outplayed by somebody who's not even that good in the NHL.
Like, that's the worst.
He has a really good 2 weeks at the juniors tournament, and then just doesn't do shit in the NHL. That's a really bad feeling.
I think. Going back. No, there's no the past Corey, the past 9 games he's played has showed more anything.
Cole is almost as good as Mitch Marner.
No, I was gonna say
that's
if you're gonna ask me who I want to build my team around, it's Caulfield and then Marner.
Why would you build a team around Marner?
No, I'm not doing that. I that was me 2 months ago, though. I won't lie, but not anymore. After what I saw, I think what it was what turned it for me officially was the dump, the delay of game, Game 6. That was the worst. No one's around him. That's what I didn't get. But yeah. Last thing before I guess we end.
Yes.
Back to the Canucks. I don't know how you sign Pettersson and Hughes without buying out and keeping these long-term cap hits where we're gonna keep Louis because I think it's the last year of his deal. I'm pretty sure we signed in 2016. It's gonna be 2022 season. That's something good to get off the books for next year. I don't know what you do about Pearson. That was, I don't know, because the fact that he signed Pearson makes me believe that Benning's gonna obviously stay for another year minimum regardless. Because realistically, I don't think ownership wants him to take control of the next 3 years, allow him to do these types of extensions without Benning being the guy, right?
I will say, if you and I go to a Canucks game, I really hope we can start the sell the team chant.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for. The first preseason game you're gonna hear. I guarantee it.
I can't wait till we can do. And I'm gonna say that while wearing either Kraken or Red Wings gear, and I'm just gonna start chanting.
I think we should go to the first, regardless of the price, unless it's like above $150 a ticket. I think that would be my cap. We should go to the Kraken Canucks first game in Vancouver.
That'd be a good fucking game.
That would be a good game.
That's my plan. I'm going to that game. I'm going to be that asshole. I'm going to be that asshole who wears the Canucks gear, and then the Kraken fans are going to overtake the Canucks fans in terms of like loudness and volume. And
that's like that's what's Canucks when the Leafs are in Vancouver. There's more Leafs fans there.
Oh, that's like the Leafs anywhere though. But like I guess.
But that's also the Canucks against any like original six team. Where like I know like the Red Wings, it's not 50-50. It's not quite 50-50. It's like 60-40.
Toronto playing in Buffalo and Ottawa too, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Raptors playing in Detroit is just Toronto. Also, that's actually probably the biggest discrepancy.
I think that's really funny when they sidebar here. I think that's really funny when TSN like shows all like the We the North fans who traveled to Detroit. It's just like it's not that far of a drive. Like it's not
like look at these fans. They drove 3 hours to Detroit. Or
when Sportsnet does like Tigers games when the Blue Jays are in Detroit, and then all these Blue Jays fans shows up. It's like, yeah, I mean, like
Toronto fans
go to Buffalo. There.
Yeah, like it's
Toronto
across
fans
the border.
Go to Buffalo games. It's 2.5 hours. I've done the drive. Okay? It's genuinely 2.5 hours on a bad day.
These are the best fans in insert sport here, where Toronto is nearby to X City. Like that's what TSN and Sportsnet does.
Yeah. I guess before you end, Canucks is my team to see what they do, and like I don't know what you do. I want to see what this guy has in his fucking smooth brain.
We're gonna probably have more podcasts in the off season about like
smooth brain.
We're gonna probably have more podcasts about like NHL offseason stuff and NHL offseason content.
Yeah.
The draft isn't for another month or so, but we still got time to do all this sort of stuff. Guys, before we head out here, any other hot takes, takeaways, things you just want to get off your chest before we?
You said Middelstadt, and think that's your hot take. I think
he could be something.
Like anything, you know what you do? Maybe if he doesn't play with Tage Thompson,
I've got a question for you guys.
Shoot,
who's gonna be the Golden Boot winner in the Euros?
Fuck Giroud.
Who did I say?
Italy. Giroud.
Did I say Italy goes all the way? So typically the team, like, isn't it typically
they don't have a good striker though?
Yeah,
it's like only a team.
Ciro Immobile.
It's a team that focus all their goals to one person normally gets it.
I'm just going off my limited soccer.
Ciro Immobile wins the Golden.
Is Holland playing? Can I say Holland?
Norway did not make it.
Shit. Going on my third option here. I'm going to say
Lewandowski would have been a shout, but I think he's injured.
I was going to say Lewandowski, but I think you're right.
I'm going to go with Ciro Immobile then. Fuck it. Italy time. He scored last game, okay? He's going to do it every game now.
I'm gonna say Lukaku because he thinks.
Yeah, I was going to go Lukaku.
I'm going to say Lukaku because he's only got two. Like he's leading goals right now, so I'll say Lukaku.
I think that's the good bet. That's definitely the good bet.
That's probably the chalk bet if you're actually putting money on it.
He's like he's the only guy for one of the big teams that like gets focused goals. I feel like the other guys, they don't really get the goals through them. It's like the whole team scores. Like the Netherlands don't really have a guy. Germany, they have Werner playing. He doesn't score goals. France, their whole team is stacked. So I would say the only team that really has someone who scores everything is probably Belgium. So
I'm just trying to find a Scotland forward that I can pick to win.
Armstrong.
Sure, Armstrong.
Or Shea Adams. Shea Adams is good.
Shea Adams. I'll say Shea Adams wins the Golden Boot in the Euro this year with Scotland.
Yeah, that's one of the moments.
Yeah. No, his name's CHE, like Che, like Che.
Oh, Shea. Shut up. I thought it was like actually Shea.
No, his name's Shea Adams.
That's what we call
Perfect. Who does he play for?
Southampton.
Oh fuck. That's not that doesn't inspire confidence.
So does the Armstrong guy, whatever his fucking first name is. He's a center attacking mid.
Oh,
Ryan Fraser, Newcastle.
That also doesn't inspire confidence.
They're not great.
I'll just say Scotland does not seem like a world beater this year, guys. Scotland is not looking great. That's, I guess, the podcast. Any other things you guys want to mention before we go?
I went to search up what year Eric Johnson was drafted, so I just searched up Eric Johnson draft 2006. I just kept putting in the years, and I just like thought that was funny. I call it the Eric Johnson draft. That's what I call it. I don't even call it like Jonathan Taves is up next. That's why I call it the Eric Johnson #1 overall pick draft. Last thing, I guess I pulled up Jeff Skinner. I try playing him with Reinhardt next year, like for real, and see what he can do. I don't think he can do anything. Even his 40-goal season wasn't worth $9 million. I don't get the contract in any way.
No one does. No one gets the contract now. It doesn't make any sense to anybody. Speaking of which, that's the podcast. Not making sense. That's the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, I think it's follow us. You can follow us on Spotify. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, and then watch the full video on YouTube. We are getting up there with subscribers. We need more subscribers. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Shmuel, are you subscribed to us on YouTube?
No.
Yep. Dumbass.
Hey, we got it. Yep. Bully this guy.
Anyways, go like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you very much to Rav and Cory for taking the time to do this. That's the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name's Ian McNaughton. Peace out.